Hi there, this is Paula from Deltek, and these are some of the changes we made to Replicon and Polaris in Q3 of 2024. Administrators have long been able to include quick add population methods on user timesheets. Now, they can specify that up to 3 of those options display as separate buttons on the timesheet, rather than in the quick fill drop-down. Enabling buttons makes the population methods easier to see and access, which should result in greater use of these options and less time filling out timesheets. You can set up these buttons and configure other quick add options within timesheet templates. We're closing a gap regarding what appears in timesheet approval history tables. Now, when a timesheet is automatically approved by the system, the approval is recorded in the timesheet's approval history. And if a timesheet includes a time-off booking that is approved after the timesheet, we also include that approval in the approval history. These changes should make it easier for customers to find timesheets when filtering by approval dates. Plus, we've updated some of our reports to reflect these changes. Note that we've made no changes to previously completed approvals. We now offer a new submission status column and filter in certain report templates. The primary use of this field and filter is to identify timesheets that have never been submitted, to help users address submission compliance issues. The existing approval status field cannot be used for this purpose, since its not submitted option doesn't distinguish between timesheets that were reopened or rejected and ones that were never submitted. You can now prevent the reopening of time entries, i.e. those from entry-based submission timesheets, if the project for those entries has been closed. This option might be useful to customers who use ERPs that don't allow changes to entries after the project is closed. You can disallow reopening of entries using the new Time Entry Reopen Conditions component within timesheet templates that are set up for entry-based submission. In our job-based scheduling UI, you can now add non-working shifts to schedules. There are a few reasons you might want to do this. For example, to assign pay rates to certain types of time off, such as on-call days, to identify times when employees can't be scheduled, to create validation and pay rules that apply to days off, and to help employees better understand why they have certain days off. To identify a shift as non-working, first an administrator creates the types of non-working shifts you might need, just as they'd create any other shift, but selecting non-working shift from the new type field. Shifts can be for a partial day up to 24 hours. Then, schedule managers add those shifts to schedules. They can filter by the non-working shift option to find non-working shifts. If you use Time Attend Plus or Workforce Management, in addition to a product that includes projects, payroll managers can now submit and reopen time entries that can be submitted ahead of timesheet submission. These types of entries are only available in products with projects, so we're just closing a gap for those using systems with both project and payroll features. This new permission is part of the existing timesheet reopen permission in Payroll Manager permission sets. We've added some new balance fields to the time off balance report template to help supervisors and payroll managers better understand employees' time off transactions. You can now allow users to enter time in days rather than hours in time distribution grid timesheets. The primary purpose of this option is to support forfait jour policies offered in France. We don't recommend enabling this new option in timesheets used for payroll purposes, since it presents a compliance risk. You can assign this option by enabling the Enter Time in Days field in timesheet templates. we've finally rolled out our estimated cost at completion feature in Polaris. This is a big addition to Polaris since it allows project managers to easily track the progress of their projects, tasks, and portfolios by cost expenditure, rather than just by hours worked. So, across the project and portfolio management pages, we've added estimates that factor in resource costs, which can help managers keep projects profitable. Here are a few examples of the changes you'll now see. On the Project Progress card, located on the Project Summary tab, you'll be able to switch to view progress based on cost data instead of just hours. On the Project Tasks tab, cost data for the task will display in the task drawer, which opens when you click the task. In project-level drawers, cost will include expenses. And on all projects list pages, under Project, Client, Program, etc., new filters will be available at the bottom of the filter dialog to show projects that are over their cost budget or hours budget. Please refer to the June 17th to July 21st, 2024 Replicon and Polaris release notes for a full list of all the cost estimate at completion changes we've made in Polaris. In Q3, we also rolled out some enhancements to that feature, including a task timeline view on the Tasks tab, where project managers can now view the difference between the estimated cost at completion and the original estimate for each task. Project statuses and checklists are used to track progress on projects. Previously, project status names were unchangeable, and it was impossible to update the default checklist for each stage. Now, PMs can rename project statuses and default checklist items on the Project Settings page. These new project names update across the app and in reports, and the default checklist settings are applied to any new projects created.